There was a house up there?
Yeah.
That's really
the peak house.
Oh, that's too weird.
And people live there?
Well, they took guests.
How long ago was that?
Is that crazy?
It blew down in 1918 or thereabouts.
It blew
Built in
down.
1890, yeah.
The wind was that strong?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was cabled, in fact. There were cables over the top of it.
How did they get up there? Was there a road?
Well, you could take the road to the halfway house, and then they charged a toll to use the path from there on. But they...
Can I film the picture?
Sure. But they brought building materials up in the winter with oxen.
Wow. Can you imagine that?
I would like
Those
to hike it
oxen must
sometime.
be...
You hiked it?
I've been up once in the summer chimney, who's responsible for all of the traffic. And on the left is Amos Thompson, who is a North Conway eccentric and inventor.
Wow, that's a
And
beautiful
is
portrait.
credited with inventing...
Is this set?
Oh yeah,
It looks
this is
different
your-
than
Just like,
TV.
just like going to the Smithsonian and seeing Archie Bunker's chair. isn't it?
There you go, yeah. What?
Molly's time.
It looks like Molly's time, 1944. Is that what the radio reminds you of? Do you have an era that your set was designed after?
This set was just kind of generic. It's really supposed to look like you're in some old fogey's house. And they built this as his apartment, and he lived here from 1962 to 1967. And then we had caretakers until quite recently. And we decided to take it over because we needed the kitchen and the bathroom and a heated wing. So now this is my office.
There you go.
Nice
Oh,
office.
so are you
got
still in the
nice windows.
library? No?
Yes.
Still have an office in there? So you've got a nice office now.
Yeah, I actually get to see Mount Washington if there aren't too
Yeah.
many leaves and or
Yeah,
too many
very
clouds.
nice tree. What's that tree? Is that a poplar and a sumac?
Yeah.
It's an old building.
There's a story about the poplars. There were two poplars out there in the wetland that blocked my view of Mount Washington, and I kept and they're not on our property; they're on the church property. And I kept threatening to commit arbicide in the middle of the night, and it flooded out there, and a beaver came, and out of all of the trees, he took one of the two poplar trees.
Oh, that's too much.
So I kept waiting for him to come back, and he never did, even though it flooded again.
Oh.
It is really just things from our collection. We have lots and lots of artwork squirreled away that we can't display. So
Ah, yeah.
I get to pick what I want for my office.
Okay, but we're getting to see it
Look
all.
at
We even get to
this.
see his office.
Yeah. Okay.
This is our climate controlled room, which is as close to climate controlled as we can.
You keep
Where
special
he-
things in there?
well,
Yeah, photographs are in there.
Archival stuff, yeah.
Paper, yeah. Staging area, workroom. We have our board meetings in here.
Very nice.
Wow. Look at all these old
It's
pictures.
another
Allie.
chimney sketch.
Yeah, that look at the mantle.
Yeah, that was a hidden away in the attic when I came here.
No.
Oh, wow.
Couldn't quite do it.
Oh, Allie, look at clothes.
Clothes. We got clothes.
You want to ask him from what year those were?
What year were those in?
That came from probably around 1890. A little over 100 years ago.
Yeah, and I've got
What?
Artifacts.
Wow.
Somebody this year or last winter gave us this magic lantern that I'm not sure quite what to do with.
It's
Let
a
him sit
projector.
there.
Well,
Complete with a bulb, and there's one glass slide in there.
Oh, my goodness.
you'll end up with a bunch of slides. Somebody will come in with a box to be able to use it. You can take it out on your lectures.
We'll do shows.
You probably, have you seen it? Have you plugged it in to see how it projects?
Oh,
No.
look at
Probably is phenomenal.
a really
compared to
old.
We also have
an old
an
check.
ancient
Look at that, an old check.
projector, a movie projector.
Near that big?
An old movie projector?
Yeah, it was actually, and
When was that on?
he does show it on occasion.
Yeah.
You see things from it, old parades and stuff, and that's from this. We did it as a fundraiser, but this is the camera. Afterwards, somebody came through with here's a projector, and here's the actual movie camera that he used for movies from Maplestone's attic. So.
How would that work, with a hand crank or a battery?
Yeah, it has a hand crank.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. And it probably still works if you could find the film.
Yeah,
They still
probably.
make the film.
Yeah, because what's to break?
Wow.
Interesting. These
A
cameras.
small meeting room and gallery space. And I'm just in the midst of installing next year's exhibit, which is going to be a sneak preview of the Salyards collection. Captain and Mrs. Salyards have been very generous in giving us.
What, Allie? A TV?
Well,
Do you think that's historic?
No,
Well.
no, look at over there.
Oh,
Let me
that's
see.
that's.
A desk?
That's our schoolroom.
Come see.
How many people a year do you have come through this?
Not enough. It's very disappointing. We run somewhere between 250 and 300.
That's just
Depending on how many school groups we get.
Oh yeah. Local.
Oh, look at the old clothing.
Yes, I saw one. That's what I was pointing you
Yes,
for.
that is some saw an old house and went up and asked the guy if he had any antiques. And while he was talking to him,
Ooh.
he noticed an edge of that sticking out from under the porch and said, hey, you want to sell that? And I guess the guy figured he really found a sucker who was willing to pay 50 cents for this old.
Well, it's historically a valuable piece. Computer.
Wow, look at this wallpaper.
He's
Trim.
among the stuff that he's given us the last couple of weeks. This is just the tip of the iceberg on his decorative aluminum. I don't know where in America there's another collection of decorative aluminum like he just gave us.
Now, who's
we
this?
have boxes of it. He's a summer resident.
From Sandwich.
No, he actually
Oh, I didn't hear the first part.
lives in Conway or
What's his name?
vacations. Justin Salyards.
And he had these in his barn, or?
He's been collecting them for years and years. There are 2 boxes that are just inserts that go into different things, but there are boxes and boxes of this wonderful hammered decorative aluminum that you just don't see. So I only tried to pick some of the more interesting ones, but it was hard because it's all interesting.
Yeah.
I love this Ferris wheel dish.
Yeah.
We were at Paul Revere's house in Boston, and they didn't have half the interesting things you have here.
We have a clapboard from that house.
Oh, really?
You have to sign the guest book, the whole family.
Oh, yes. Sign your name
Or we can
first.
put an X if he needs to.
Sign your name in the guest book to show you were here.
Lived in Raymond Banfield's 1860s.
Who wore a hat like that?
Beth and I did for a few
Yeah,
years.
she was telling me.
President.
And at the florist. This is a little
That's
bit
not
earlier
him,
than
but-
that, isn't it?
This, the main part of the house was built in 1818.
Yeah.
Sign
But
it
we have
in.
a back section that I think is a little older.
On your line, write your name.
Wow. We love that old house. As
Oh,
a matter of
the
fact, when we
wheels
built the
turn.
house, we
Would that go
designed a lot after them.
Is this a president?
No, that's Payson Tucker. Well, he was president of the Maine Central Railroad.
Look at Payson. That's why we see that name, Payson, everywhere.
He
That's
built
what it
Birchmont, which stood on the site of the Red Jacket.
Carnival.
Oh, yeah. I know that place.
You signed your name.
That's why
Good
they
job.
now have the. They apparently didn't want it and gave it back to him because it came down through his estate.
Here?
His-
Out here. In town here, you mean?
Yeah, his his heirs gave it to us. So we don't know why the Eye and Ear Hospital didn't.
Look at now.
Is
What
it
kind of
this
stone is that?
Marble.
Wow.
And it's really heavy because I dropped a
Boy,
base on
that-
somebody's
that's-
ankle once.
Boy, he commissioned that, huh? He had the
Now,
dough
what
made
is
me to
this
commission
wallpaper?
This is, well, there's even an earlier one here.
No.
that. 1845.
We're fortunate that they never
No.
took any off when they put more on, so I've been carefully chiseling down, trying to get as much of this to show as I can.
When you say chiseling, peeling?
Yeah, just
When-
taking.
What?
tiny
This
little
this
things.
was over that.
Yeah, this is the one that was in several rooms of the house, and then this one was under that,
1900.
and then this is the earliest.
I wish.
Yeah, it's marble. You can
What did they? How did they make wallpaper in
It's cold.
1845?
give me your fingers.
They didn't have the machines to make rolls. They did 45-inch
statue
squares,
over
there. Yeah.
and that's how you
It's
can
not staff.
tell the really early wallpaper because there'll be a seam running horizontally.
Okay.
Can you just put the back of his hand on that?
Oh, sure.
Yeah, just feel. It's
You
cold
wanna
marble.
touch it?
It's
This
cold marble.
is William Kimball Eastman, who was the builder of the house. Billy K. we know
Oh,
about.
he built this house, Ally.
It's cold.
Now, was he
Yeah.
the person who financed it or the actual builder?
Well, he was the one. It was built for him. We don't know the
Okay.
details of it. The bicycle on the front porch has a very interesting history. It belonged to Liz Davis's father, Mr. Small, I believe was his name. And during World War II, he used to ride it around North Conway. I think he was the air raid warden. I don't know if he ran around screaming air raid or just went around to make sure that people had their blackout curtains down. This is being a special room darkening blackout material, so that the bombers going overhead couldn't see any light shining out of your house.
No kidding. I didn't realize they had special shades.
Yeah. I guess the government must have issued the blackout material. It's in all different periods rather than one period.
Yeah.
And this is the 1890 Victorian parlor, complete with papered ceiling.
Wow, Ally.
And the original raceways from the electricity, which became available in the
Oh,
1890s.
raceway.
Real?
They still
Allie.
use raceway.
Same company still makes them.
What is she doing? Is that a lady with stitching? I'm gonna film that. There's my lens.
Furniture actually belonged to the Lord family. There's only been 3 families who owned the house. The Eastmans were here till 1879, and then the Heath family lived here until he drowned in the pond across the street, the Quacket Pond.
No.
The man
Let's see.
or the child?
The man. I don't remember how old he was. He must have been maybe somewhere around 50.
Owen. Daddy, come on, I want to show you something.
And then the Lord family bought it in 1900 and lived here till 1962 when they gave it to the Historical Society. And this parlor set belonged to the Lord family. It was sold in 1962 and somebody bought it back. Ernest Richardson bought it back and donated it in memory of his wives,
Wow.
all 4 of them. And the organ we still have because they couldn't get a bid on it when they were auctioning off the furniture.
Take my hand.
Is that amazing? And who are the people? Are these the 4 wives?
No, no, but we're somewhere we have the 4 wives plaques. Oh, here they are.
You want to look at that?
Ask.
Yeah, you're welcome to do that. We keep that there just so. You may need to move it back over.
Can you see it?
A little too.
Yeah, it looks like real.
It looks real?
You want to see?
Sure. Oh, it makes it 3-dimensional.
I
Work
want
through
to
the
do that.
Because the way they work is the pictures look
gotta be
alike,
both
but
your
they're an eye distance apart.
Okay, let Daddy look now.
Owen's in-
Ooh, that's a big. Whoa.
What do you think of that?
I think
It's very.
like
You know, it looks
real,
like it's stuffed.
What is this?
That's another stereo viewer, except you put multiple ones in and turn the sides, so you don't have to keep
Monarch
moving.
of all.
So you can do a series of them.
Oh, it's got a good
I
rack.
want to see.
There's nothing you can see in it. You got an old Bible.
This is another chimney.
So now what's his story? He was a local painter?
He was the founder of the White Mountain School of Art, responsible for all of the traffic.
A bed? You see a bed in there?
So he made this place famous.
Now where did you get all this wallpaper? Was this here also?
This was here, yeah. We also know what was underneath it.
What?
We have a sample of the wallpaper. Excuse me, Owen. This is the next layer down. And you get to guess how I got this off without making a hole in the wallpaper. So I think this, if you look underneath here where I'm slowly chiseling away the layers of paint, you see a green, and I think probably when this paper was on, the woodwork was green.
And they had this ceiling this way with this
Yeah.
wallpaper?
Yeah. Because of the Victorian motto, do it, overdo it, and then do it some more.
And make it feel busy.
Fire screen is also Benjamin Chimney, and it's reverse hold. Who'd like that? Hi, Ellie.
Wow, very nice.
And what was the purpose of a fire screen?
I sort of screened it in the summer.
Make it look pretty?
Yeah, to make it look prettier. And they, you know, by the time he painted this, they had probably sealed the fireplace off because as soon as they could, as soon as stoves were available, they started using them. They were so much more efficient, but they took them out in the summer and it left a big thimble there. And these kind of decorated that space. The earliest ones were movable on stands and higher, and they were to keep women's makeup from melting. They used wax.
They had to live with. You know?
Wax makeup.
Can you imagine that? Wax makeup? Look at this beautiful dress. Are there stories behind these dresses?
Probably, but I don't know that. I call that one the kangaroo dress.
For the pouch?
Yeah.
Look at Daddy.
This is the 1818 section.
Mommy, look at
Look at this. 1818, Ellie. It's
that
getting
church
closer
pew?
to Felicity.
That's a settle
It's
bench.
a settle bench.
What's that?
Settle down.
They were really, really important because they reflected the heat from the fireplace because houses were so cold, and it stopped the draft from your back. And the provenance that came with it was that they kept the babies in the drawer, which makes sense because it would be the only warm place. Hopefully they left the drawer open.
I was just going to say.
And they may well have taken the drawer out and laid it on the floor and not had it half closed like we do. This is one of a set of 3 settle benches made in Lower Bartlett.
Oh, really? That's amazing.
Wow, that's news. That's very interesting.
This is, well, it's very unusual to have drawers in them, which they didn't.
How did,
What did the
Allie, ask him, did the children wear diapers?
children wear diapers?
I believe they did, but I don't think they were huggy disposable diapers. I think they were real cloth and they had to be washed. Allie, what do you think is in this mattress to make it sound like this?
Hey.
Close.
Wheat.
Corn?
Corn husks.
Oh.
There was a husking. Do you have any history on the husking, the corn mill?
Yes, we have some photographs of the corn shop on Farrington Avenue.
Yeah,
Okay.
because Raymond told me.
There are
Really?
4 or 6 of them. That's so you could fluff it. And then underneath it's rope, you know, saying sleep tight. That came
Let
from
the
rope
bed
beds.
bugs fight.
Don't let the bed bugs fight, absolutely.
And I bet they would.
And this is a bed wrench.
What?
I know it sounds like one of those hokey things that people try to convince you, but it's true. And this was used for tightening the ropes. Because so that you could sleep tight, periodically you have to tighten the ropes. And anytime you move these beds, you have to re-rope them. Otherwise they fall apart. And this, you tighten it and you use this like if you were caning a chair, you know, you put pegs in. Use this the same way to hold it while you move on to the next one. I'm the Valley's leading bed roper. And
Are you the only bed roper?
little girls used to dress these up and use them as dolls because they were doll shaped. So they were called bed wrench dolls. It's a pretty sad doll, isn't it?
Oh, and the bed
No,
pulls
we have
out. There's a little
Towelina.
bed that pulls out.
Yeah, it's a trundle, which is also roped.
A roped trundle bed. Look
The
at that.
baby, mom and dad and the baby.
Yeah,
And-
or even guests, even house guests.
What's that under there, Allie? What do you think that
So
little
you're down
pot's
to the
for?
plaster here.
I know.
Yeah, in fact we replaced this ceiling because it was there was a modern ceiling that was on there, and we took that off to see what was under, and then ended up replacing this ceiling. But the walls, we had a modern wallpaper, and we stripped them down, and we're still trying to decide what to do to get
I like the look. I
I
like
like
being
it like
able to
this.
see.
Yeah.
to get reproduction wallpaper. It would cost about $18,000 to do this one room. So
You know, to
that's
me-
like our yearly budget.
That's interesting to see that the material that they used versus the.
We also have places where you can see on the other side of the wall too. So.
What is
Wish I could eat it, Mom.
what? Allie? What?
I was just talking to Lynn.
Oh.
David made the dinner for us.
Allie, can you say what year was this house built?
What year was this house built?
1818. Except we think this part was a little older and they moved it from somewhere else and put it on the back of the house. See, the ceilings are a different height.
Yeah. I thought you lowered it to make us feel like we were in an older room.
No, it's actually when we get upstairs, you'll see that it's two different
There's more.
buildings.
Just wow.
But we have lots more.
I'm telling you, Paul Revere's house is real
Was-
popular, but this thing is much more
He
interesting.
was probably more famous than William Kimball
He's-
Eastman.
yeah.
Here are the wallpapers in here.
Oh, look at that. Different
Just
levels.
turns up the content.
No, second, no way.
And is this another old Bible?
Now, is Tom Eastman a relative of the Eastman?
They're all the Eastmans in America seem to have come from Roger.
Really?
Tina Poo.
Look at the windows, Beth.
Yes, I was looking. I'll
Those
film
have
them.
been replaced by the newer Victorian windows, and we took these from another part of the building and replaced them to get because you just couldn't
Yeah.
get this look with the 2/1.
Oh no.
Yeah.
No. You get the.
What is this? Can you ask?
What is that?
I want to see these 4-panel doors at the Conway.
This one?
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think? Got a guess? No. That's because you have a nice warm bed to sleep in. But in the days when this was used, the beds were really cold and the bedrooms were cold, and they would put hot coals in the pan and then rub it on the sheets. If you were rich, you had servants that came and did that for you. So when you got in bed, the sheets were warm.
Can you imagine that? And where would you get out to go potty?
There.
Do you think that's a little potty bucket?
I don't know.
Ask David.
What's that?
I think that's a potty bucket. That's called a chamber pot because a chamber was an old name for bedroom.